So Alex, hello.
Hey.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, you might have clocked he is American. So Alex, perhaps you could tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Sure, absolutely. I am originally from the States, as you mentioned, and have come over to London the last 8 months to help start the European wing of our operation called National Field. And we're a private social networking company based in Washington, D.C., with offices in San Francisco as well as here. And I started with the company as well as kind of my professional life on the Barack Obama campaign in 2008. And actually, then it was 2007. I was on the primary campaign. And we were a part of the field team, which meant that we managed volunteers and managed staff to reach out to voters and to really do the bottom line, which was get the votes for then Senator Obama. And I had a blast. I mean, I was supposed to go, my personal life trajectory was graduate from college and go try to work at Google, had a job there, all excited to move out to San Francisco. And then I heard this guy who was saying the right thing at the right time to a lot of people our age and felt that there was a movement coming and jumped on board his campaign and got an incredible understanding of what it's like to manage large amounts of people and large amounts of information to try to achieve an outcome, and realized there aren't a lot of tools, effective tools out there for people who are leading something like that. And so that's where National Field came in, was some staffers of mine who at the time we were running a state with hundreds of staff and thousands of volunteers. We turned to each other and said, we can't be chasing spreadsheets and chasing emails and trying to figure out what's going on. We aren't giving anybody direction. We aren't helping lead this thing. We're going to lose. What do we do? So they came up with these three guys. One happened to be a software engineer. One was a graphic designer. Another one was just a brilliant organizer. Sat in a room and said, why don't we use, the revolution that is Facebook, the revolution that is social media, to connect all the different parts, all these people who are across the country. Why don't they actually coordinate with each other on one platform and have a place where data is flowing to the right people at the right time so they can make decisions? So why don't we build a reporting tool into that? And that's just what they did with National Field. It's a reporting tool that takes data and allows people to do something with it. And so blossomed from there, turned it into a company. People went back to their normal lives and started using it at Kaiser Permanente, which is a big healthcare company in the U.S., and some retail industry organizations as well. And the campaign mentality of needing to focus on data and having your customers and your staff actually connect was something that echoed and touched people no matter where they were. And so we've come over here to the UK to work with the National Health Service as one of our clients, and a couple other clients, but really just to feel out, is this a niche that people have here and across the world? And lo and behold, it is.
So you think, is there a difference then between, because you've obviously got an American perspective on things,
sure,
and lots of people say that the Americans have got it spot on in terms of social media, but perhaps the UK, what are we, a little bit behind, or do you think we're embracing it?
No, I actually think that's false completely. I think that in the average person in the UK is quite media savvy and is actually using Facebook and Twitter especially, and LinkedIn, all these kind of public sites, more than a lot of my own friends and colleagues do at home. So that, just from my little time here, I think is true. I think in the business world, using social media as a private tool, that's new to a lot of people here in the UK. And I think there's a lot of historical reasons for that, why breaking down some hierarchies and using people, having everybody have access to information is kind of nerve-wracking for a lot of folks.
And is there a lot of stigma attached to it still? Because there tends to be in business this kind of snooty attitude towards social media and whatever. So does that still exist, or are you slowly breaking that barrier down?
I think internally people still kind of question, aren't people just talking about what they want to eat for lunch and what they did last night at the bar or the pub? And that's obviously, we all know, isn't true, but there is that stigma out there from a lot of C-suite level folks, and a lot of our job is to go and tell them it isn't and show them why it isn't. I think, for outward facing, using social media outwardly, like a company having a face to the public and being able to interact with customers, that's something people will tend to be embracing a lot more. And I think because they already say, okay, well, Facebook can do something for our company, they're a little bit more willing to listen to the pitch about internal social media, helping them with their communications with their staff as well.
So is that something you can apply then to SMEs? Obviously our readers and watch our viewers will be very interested to know if they can apply that to their own small business. I mean, they don't have thousands of people in their workforce. But
let me back up for 1 second just to describe a little bit about our tool. The beauty of it is in the way the technology is set up, in that it's hierarchical. So you actually, and we believe hierarchy can be a nice word, not a bad word, in that Facebook is anarchic and everything goes everywhere and you friend and follow who you want. Perfect for our social lives. In any business, whether it be a small business or a large business, you have a focus, you have a goal, and you have people have specific jobs so that they're effective and they're efficient and can work towards one goal. So you need technology to mirror that type of structure. So whether it be an NHS that has thousands of layers of people for obvious reasons, or a small or medium-sized business that maybe has 2 layers or 3 layers of individuals who are doing strategy or managing a team and then doing the frontline work, you still have a need to have a tool that's more organized than it is chaotic, like you would in Facebook. So that's one thing I would point out. The other thing I would point out is really what gets us going at National Field. What we're excited about as people is not just talking about social, but knowing that social needs to be attached to data, and that really it's all about how you are able to understand and interpret data that will allow you to be effective at making decisions based off of information, data at your fingertips. And so what we're trying to do is be a platform that pulls in data from no matter where it is, whether it be social data or numerical data, have it in one place where it's one dashboard where you can understand what that means. How does what does your output match against somebody else's output? Have you achieved something? Right. And that can happen with your 10 people or 10,000 people. Being able to understand how you fit in relation to someone else, how you fit in relation to someone else, as well as how their data fits in relation to you. So.
Right. Okay. So is this the future then? Is that what you're telling us, Alex? Is this the future of how business will be run?
Did I show you my crystal ball?
yeah. Sorry, I didn't realize.
No, actually, I think it is the future. I think that it's an industry right now that is nascent, but is taking off. No one has been able to claim that they are the one in this space yet. There's a lot of names out there that float out there that people may or may not recognize, but in general, no one's owned it. And so, in the next few years, it's going to be multi-billion-dollar industry that someone's going to own. And so we're in that race and in that fight. But also, just naturally, there's a revolution in the way we communicate socially with our friends and our family through Facebook, through Twitter. We've done amazing things in that world. Why not have that revolution at work? Why not have people be able to communicate more effectively and more efficiently and use data more effectively and more efficiently? And so clearly that's going to come.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for dropping in on us, Alex. Great.
Nice to meet you.
And you.